Hi, so today we're reading like Ningning from Aespa'S. If you don't know who Ningning is, let me tell you. Here, I'll just read it off of Google. Ningning is a Chinese singer under SM Entertainment and she's the maknae of the girl group Aespa'S. She's born in October 23rd, 2002 and she's from Harbin, China. So yeah, today we're reading like Ningning. Let's just go into the video, honestly. But also, check out this shirt. Like, my camera won't focus, but it says, I prefer books over people. It's a t-shirt. It's from St. Ivory, I think. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I don't know if it's focused, but I'm almost done with To Live. Also, mukbang Krispy Kremes. Yeah. Okay, so the first book is To Live by Yu Hua. Let me stop. Bruh, stop. Yu Hua? I guess, yeah. And boy, let me tell you, this has become one of my top books. And it's literally the first one I read of this year. So this was published in 1992 and I think was adapted into film in 1994. And To Live follows the life of Fugui. That's definitely, I feel like that's wrong. It's Chinese, but okay, I'm just gonna say Hueji. I can't find the pronunciation online. So it follows the life of Hueji, who is a Chinese man who undergoes significant personal and societal changes during the mid-20th century. He was once a wealthy landowner, but then he loses everything due to his gambling addiction and the political upheavals of the time, which include the Chinese Civil War and the Cultural Revolution. I also find that like historical context really helps and it makes me enjoy the book more. I don't know, a lot of the stuff I learned in AP World History. So the novel depicts Hueji's journey through various hardships and tragedies and moments of resilience as he tries to adapt to the events shaping China's history. But it is through his experiences that the novel is able to explore the themes of survival, resilience, and the impact of political and social upheavals on individual lives. It's also like apparent in the book that like the mass casualties of such political movements are literally normal people like Hueji. What makes this book so good to me is so good at capturing the human spirit's ability to endure hardships in the face of adversity. I think that's what really drew me to this book, and obviously it's a pretty famous work in China, I believe, from what I heard. In fact, it was banned until a certain time. I think the main theme of this book was just the philosophy of life, particularly how normal people, working class people, they don't fight back at tragedy. Instead, they endure it silently and challenge death by staying alive no matter how hard the circumstances are. Just read this book. I was almost on the verge of tears, but read this book and you'll see for yourself. I got this. I got this avocado toast with the salad and then a matcha. Okay, next book is No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. I've read this before, I read it again for this video, but this is one of my favorite books. I think that To Live is up there, but I think this is... I'm a sucker for philosophy and sad shit, so sometimes I'm just like, what is the meaning of life? You know, everybody has their own philosophy. I just think we're just on this little fucking planet spinning. That's what I think when I get sad. But anyways, the saddest part about No Longer Human, written by Osamu Dazai, is... okay, it was published in 1948, so right after World War II. And the saddest part, it's a semi-autobiographical account of the author's own troubled life, which makes it really sad. In fact, I read this with Jasmine and we're both like, gag, like what the fuck? Like we read it, I think we read it in sophomore year the first time, and I was like, but I love sad shit. So this is divided into 3 parts, each representing a different phase in the protagonist's life. The protagonist is Yozo Oba, and he's a deeply troubled and alienated individual who struggles with a sense of detachment from society. He adopts a mask of humor to conceal his true feelings and insecurities, but as he navigates through various relationships and societal expectations, he grapples with his own existential crisis and the inability to connect with others on a genuine level. Which sounds honestly like a Dostoevsky novel, but I'll get into that later. So this novel goes into themes of identity, isolation, and the human condition. Yozo's journey is marked by, you know, a series of personal failures and self-destructive behavior, as well as just a constant search of meaning and connection in life. But please search up trigger warnings if you want to read this, okay? I think the narrative style is also really unique. It's not unique, but I enjoyed it. It's introspective, which gives, you know, readers a deeper insight into the main character's psyche. I also heard that it's also praised for its raw and honest portrayal of the human experiences, and it's, I think, his most famous work. But I also read Schoolgirl, which I like, but all his books are kind of sad. I understand why it's praised because I like it too, but I read on Goodreads because I always check, you know, what are my peers saying about the books that I enjoy. And one person wrote that his writing style parallels Dostoevsky's, and I so agree. Like, I can see it. Like, in terms of the conversations between characters about morality, like, he's low-key Japanese Dostoevsky. Like, I really highly suggest you check out this book if you want, you know, to get yourself to think a little bit deeper about life. But please do check the trigger warnings so you don't think too deep. Next, I'm starting Resurrection by Leo Tolstoy. Also, Jasmine just dropped off this. It's my Christmas / birthday present. We kind of went all out this year. We're turning 18. Also, you know, just to remember each other for when we go to college, which I think is cute. It's like a signet ring. I got my first initial on it. Resurrection by Leo Tolstoy. This is, I believe, Tolstoy's last book, because then he started writing short stories, I believe, because he wrote War and Peace before this and Anna Karenina. I just thought this book, it was cool, but nothing special to me. Might be the longest book out of all 4 books. Someone said that every translation is an act of betrayal, and I so agree. They're like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to learn every fucking language so I can read books in the original language it was written, because you miss out on so much with every translation. There's just some things you can't translate. So yeah. Resurrection, written by Leo Tolstoy, was published in 1899, yes, and it revolves around the life of Prince Dmitri Ivanovich. I'm just gonna call it Prince Dmitri, okay? Who is a young and privileged aristocrat, and his life takes a dramatic turn when he serves on a jury and encounters a woman named Katusha Maslova, which was a former maid he had seduced and abandoned years ago. Always read the foreword in books. They give like such insight, because they were like, this was low-key like modeled after one of Tolstoy's friends' lives, and I'm just like, what? Yeah, so a former maid he had seduced and abandoned years ago. Now, Maslova, the former maid he has seduced, is now on trial for murder, and Prince Dmitri is shocked to see the circumstances that she faces. and he's consumed by guilt from his past actions. But he was also in love with her, so he is determined to redeem himself and help her find justice. This novel explores themes of morality, redemption, and the consequences of one's action. As Prince Dmitri goes into Maslova's life, he witnesses the harsh realities of Russian society, including the flaws of the legal system and the stark contrast between privileged class and the oppressed. And it is a reflection of Tolstoy's social and moral philosophy, questioning the ethics of aristocracy and the institutional injustices that are in society. And throughout the novel, Prince Dmitri goes into a profound spiritual and moral transformation as he grapples the consequences of his actions and seeks a path to redemption. This book explores morality and the search of meaning in a world filled with social inequality and moral ambiguity. This is also probably Tolstoy's most controversial novel yet, as it was written under the leadership of Tsar Nicholas II and was filled with strong religious and political implications, particularly centering around the unjust system of criminal law. I don't know, Russian literature is hard to read, but I think they have great thinkers and ideas. So Maslova is accused of murder and she's put on trial. However, the circumstances surrounding her crime are complex, and this book delves into the social and moral aspects of her life, the legal system, and the broader issues of justice and morality. But I think what this book does well is it goes beyond the question of just guilty or innocent and rather explores the impact of, social structures, class distinctions. I don't know, I write down my review when I'm basically reading it. Last but not least, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. We all know and love her, and this is very bad sounding, but this is the only Jane Austen book I've ever read. I read it for AP Lit. At first I gave it a 4, I don't know why. It's basically a 5-star, but I was like, this is more like a 3.5 to me now. But anyways, this is a romance story published in 1813 surrounding the Bennet family, particularly the second eldest daughter, Elizabeth Bennet. So the central theme of the novel is social expectations of marriage and the impact of pride and prejudice, like the name suggests, on romantic relationships. The plot is basically carried by Miss Elizabeth as she navigates the challenges of finding a suitable husband while facing the various characters she encounters, including the wealthy and proud Mr. Darcy. I'm telling you, after you read this, go watch the movie. It's so good. The narrative explores the dynamics between social classes, the role of women in society, and the importance of personal character and relationships. Throughout the novel, Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy engage in a bunch of misunderstandings, but also personal growth, which leads to the resolution that challenges societal norms and expectations. I think this book is so popular because there's comical characters, witty dialogue, and it has a satisfying romantic plot. A lot of my peers in class were like, but she still ends up with the guy. But I think at that time, I think it was still revolutionary because Elizabeth did stand up. He didn't just say, oh, I want you, and then she came running. She was like, we worked this out, They're equals in this relationship. He doesn't have an upper hand. He has his flaws, she has her flaws. They both have strengths and weaknesses. They're equals in the relationship. It's a beloved classic for a reason, and it's been adapted into numerous films. Keira Knightley was also in Anna Karenina. It's popular for a reason. But I don't know if I should read more Jane Austen, but yeah. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you like my reading celebrities videos, subscribe, because I have made it my 2024 side quest challenge to hit 100k subscribers, because I just want a plaque to show my parents. I don't know why, but help a girl out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.